What's up guys, welcome to my channel. I'm KYART TUTOS and today I'm going to teach you how to make this type of animation. Okay guys, let's start with the tutorial. Right now I'm using Blender 3.0. You can use any version, it doesn't matter. The result will be the same. And I'm using this add-on, screencast case, so you can see what I'm typing right now, and you can see my mouse also and the shortcuts that I'm going to use. Okay, by default when you open Blender, this is what you're gonna find. You're gonna find the light, the cube, and the camera. Most of the people usually delete everything, right? But in this case I'm going to use it. Okay. The only thing that I'm going to do is to separate the camera and the light in one collection, and the cube I'm going to put it in a new collection. So I'm going to select the cube, I'm going to press M, new collection, I'm going to put it cat, because this will be my cat. So right now I have two collections right here, and so the collection one where is the camera and the light, and the second one is our character, the cat, the cube. I can rename it as well, cat. And I can turn off the visibility right here in the eye. You can click it and then it will disappear. But so right now we have the cube. I'm going to go to the front view, number one in the numpad. Now we're gonna move right here, okay? And I'm going to use the cube for create my character. So how we're gonna do it? We're gonna apply some modifiers. We have here in this part, we have the modifiers. I'm going to use the division surface. We're going to divide this cube, okay? By default, it comes in levels viewport. It comes in 1. I'm going to use 2, and then we're gonna enter to the edit mode. I'm gonna go to the tab. You can go to the different modes right here. Like for example, we were in the object mode, now edit mode. Okay, now we are here, and then we are going to edit the vertices, the borders, and the faces of our shape, right? So right now here they have these items. They have a camera, they have a real-time display monitor. Like if I activate it or deactivate it, it shows me the cube, and if I activate it, it will show me the modifier. Okay, and this one on cache, it will make like actually this modifier is not applied to the mesh, so it doesn't work like it takes all the vertices and lines. Right now it's not taking it, just take it the four vertices. You see, you can see the vertices right here and the lines, but it don't take me this one. This is like a kind of illusion because we didn't apply it yet. So we're gonna work like this. Now from view one more time, and then we're gonna activate the x-ray view right here. You can activate it, or you can put a shortcut. For me, I am using the Q. Look, Q. You can change it. You can change it like you go right here, the right button, and say change shortcut, and you can put wherever you want. In my case, I use cube. Now we're gonna use it. I'm going to activate the transparency of the X-ray view, and we're gonna select vertices right here. Then we're gonna drag right here this one. Then I'm going to go, let me see. We're gonna press G and Z. We're gonna go up. We're gonna move it like here. Then we're gonna select these vertices down here, and then we're gonna scale the vertices. We're gonna S. Then we're gonna open it a little bit like this. We're gonna make a little fat cat. It's like a cat, yeah, it's a cat, okay? Then we're gonna make some cuts right here. How we do this? We're gonna press Ctrl R, and then you can see we have this line right there. That means the program going to make the cat right there. So we're gonna click, and then before we confirm, we can put the line of the cat wherever we want. For example, I'm going to put it right here, and then I git click to confirm. Now look, we have this. Okay, now we're gonna go to the side view with the number 3 in the numpad. We're gonna select this one. Gonna this let me this these vertices, we're gonna select it. And then remember, we are using the transparent or x-ray view, because in that way I can select all the vertices in the geometry. That means this size vertex I can select it almost from this side to that side, right and left side, right? If I don't use the, for example, the x-ray view, if I want to select this one, look, it's just going to select me this part and now this part. Okay, that's why I am using the x-ray view. I'm going to activate it again. I select this one, then I'm going to scale it like this. Want to move it a little bit. Okay, here, then G, Y, and then we're going to move it right here. Here. Here we have all the move, rotate, and scale. We're gonna use rotate. We're gonna rotate it a little bit. Okay. Now from view. Now we're gonna create another cut right here. So Control R. We're gonna move it a little bit, maybe here. Okay. Now with this cut or this border selected, we're going to scale it S. Then we're gonna scale it a little bit like this. Now I'm going to select this one, G, Z. We're going to go up. I'm going to scale it a little bit, scale in, almost like this. So basically this is our shape. Okay, this is going to be our main shape for making our cat. It's something really simple. It's not too much to do. Now we're gonna get out from the edit mode with tab. We're gonna press tab, and we're going to apply the modifier. We can apply it here, right? Apply. We're gonna let the two levels viewport, and then we're gonna apply it. Okay. Now we can enter again to the edit mode, and now we can see that he has applied the modifier and has divided in different vertex and edges and faces. Now we can use it like that. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the symmetry of the shape. How we gonna do that? We're gonna use the auto mirror, an add-on that comes with Blender by default. You can find it here, edit, preference, then you go to add-ons, and here you can type auto mirror and you can select it. Okay, I'm going to close that one. Now you're going to select the geometry with A. You can select all the geometry, and then you're going to open here this menu with N, and right here, let me find it. I have a lot of stuff, guys, sorry. And edit, you can find it here, auto mirror. So with the geometry selected, you can say click here, auto mirror, and then automatically he's going to mirror our geometry. Now we're gonna work like as use this size, and everything we do here will appear here. Okay, now we're gonna make the ears of our character. So we're gonna select faces, go here, we're gonna select these faces right here, which ship. We're gonna hold shift, and then we're gonna select these 4 faces, and then we're gonna make an inset. You can do it here, inset face, or you can press I, and then we're gonna move it almost right here, something like that. Then from view again, now we're gonna extrude these faces with E, then almost to here. With G we can move it a little bit, and then we're gonna scale it like this. You can scale like right here, move it here a little bit, something like that. Now we're gonna go side view, see how it looks. It looks good. Okay, now we're gonna apply again. We're gonna go to the modifiers, and then we're gonna apply again subdivision surface to see how is our cat going, how it looks. Now we're gonna get out from edit mode, then with the geometry selected, we're gonna give right click and then shader smooth. We're gonna smooth that normals so it will looks a little bit better. Okay, now we can put the subdivisions in level 2. Okay, see how it's looking. Okay, now from view again, we're going to select these faces right here, and then I'm going to the real time subdivision. I'm going to deactivate it here. Okay, now I'm going to insert more faces here. Yeah. Now we go almost here a little bit in. Then I'm going to extrude inside with E a little bit, and then we activate again the subdivision and see how it looks. And look, it looks pretty. It looks really nice actually. Okay, now one more time we get in edit mode. We are going to activate transparency, and then X-ray. We're going to select this part. We're gonna use here vertex selection with 1, or you can go right here, and then we're going to select this part right here, and then G, Z, and then we're going a little bit down, scale it a little bit, something like this. Okay, now let me see how it looks. Nice, it looks nice. Okay guys, now okay, we had our cat. Basically we're going to use this part of the cat. This down part we don't gonna see it in the animation, just this upper part we're gonna see it. And then right now we're going to make the hands of the cat. We're gonna make one and then we're gonna duplicate it. That's all we're gonna do. So right now the cat, we don't need it. We can hide the cat. We can hide it with the letter H. We type H and it's hide it. Now I'm going to create another geometry. So Shift A, mesh, and then we're going to create a cube. We're gonna go create a cube. Now it's the same. We're going to apply the modifier subdivision surface. Then enter to edit mode. Then transparency. We're gonna select transparency. We're gonna select this vertex. This vertex is right here. G, Z. Then we go up. Now we're going to select the upper vertices. Now with this vertex selected, we're gonna G, Z down. Okay, now I'm going to scale it in. Yeah. Now we're gonna to create some cuts right here. Control R, click. Almost right here. Now we select those vertices, then scale it. Yeah. Now these vertices right here, we're going to scale it up. Something like that. We're gonna move it a little bit up. Control R. Then we're gonna to create a cut right here. Then we're gonna to scale it in a little bit. Something like that. Basically, this is what the shape what we're gonna use for the hands. Now we're gonna make some modifications for make it looks better. So right now we have selected these edges, so scale it a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna select those ones, vertices, then scale it a little bit more. Now we go up here, we're gonna Control R, create a cut. Okay, side view. Then we're going to scale in this side Y little bit. Then A, select everything, scale it a little bit. Okay, from view. Now we're gonna have to create two cuts, one here and one here. Okay, Control R, click, one right here, here, Control R, here. Okay, side view, how it looks, good. It looks nice. Side view, and now one cut right here, Control R, click. Now we're gonna use the proportional editing that is right here. You can hit click, and we're gonna select those vertices, and we're gonna move it up. when we use the proportional editing, he creates a radius. You see, a radius or influence on the geometry. I can move it and I can make it bigger or smaller using the scroll button of the mouse. Scroll, yeah, the scroll wheel. See? Now we're gonna move it a little bit right here. Okay, something like that. Looks good. From view, select these ones, then up, like this. It looks good. Now, side view, I'm just going to select these vertices. I'm going to deactivate the proportional editing. I'm going to maybe a little bit right here. Okay. Now we're gonna select these vertices, these vertices, these edges, sorry. Number 2, or you can go right here. Hold down Shift and then click and select it. And we are going to create a bevel using this line. You can create it using this bevel tool or with Control B with the shortcut and move it a little bit, and then with the mouse scroll button you can move it and create one cut in the middle like this. Now I'm going to select these edges, Shift and then hold it and select this one, then this one, hold down Shift and then select this one, and then we're going to scale it inside a little bit like this to create this shape. I'm going to put this in 2. Yeah, it looks nice, something like that. We get out from edit mode, then control right click and shader smooth. Yeah, from view, x-ray view, then vertex selection, select this one. I think is can make it a little big, and I'm going to select all of this, make it a little bit smaller like this. I think it's okay. Yeah, something basically something like that. Okay, you can make any modifiers as you wish, but in my case, for example, I'm going to hold Alt and click and select all this ring, all this loop, then S, X, and scale it a little bit inside. Okay, out. It's okay. Now we have our hand, and we have our cat that is right here. Okay, the hand is too big, so we're going to scale it. GX for move it. G, so we go up, scale it a little bit. G. Now every time you scale or move something in the object mode, you need to apply the transformation. For example, right now I move it and I scale it, so I need to Control A and then all transformation, and then you can give a right click and send the origin. You need to send the origin to the geometry. In this case, we're gonna use the origin that is this point in the geometry. That means, for example, if I select it and I want to move it, the origin is right here. If I apply Control A, all transformation, the origin go here, right? The pivot. So for me, in my case, I need it inside the geometry. So it will be like this. So now, right now, we had our cat, we had our hands. Now we can duplicate it, this one, going to here and if we're going to use the mirror modifier, we're going to select this right here, select our cat, and then we have both. Now we had the cat and we had the hands. Now, before we continue with the shader for our cat, the TOON shader, we are going to make the rig for our cat. It's going to be a really simple rig. It's going to be an elastic rig for our cat and the hands also. So first of all, we're going to select our cat, and then we're going to go here to the vertex group. Okay, and then we're going to create 3 vertex groups. Okay, 1, 2, 3. we're going to rename it. This one, the first one, is going to be called stretch. Okay, second one, we are call it ear that R. Then this one, ear that left. Then we're going to select this one, stretch. Okay, the stretch one. With our cat selected, we are going to change to object mode to wave painting. Okay, now in wave painting, what we're gonna do, we're going to select this tool here called gradient, and then we're going to create a gradient from this point to down. Okay, like this. So we go all the way down, almost. Here is okay. Now basically this wave painted, what it means that red is all the influence of 1 and blue 0 influence. That means when we move our cat from the top, all our cat is going to move, and this part is going to move a little bit, and this one is gonna move because all the influence is here. The strength is right here. So this part is going to move, and we are going to create a control for move it. Okay. Now we are going to come back to the object mode. Right now, with the cat selected, we are going to go to the modifiers. But before we apply a modifier, we need to create a control. So we're going to press Shift A, mesh, and then we're going to create a circle. And we are going to put the circle up. Let's a little bit. It's okay. Then you can rename the circle, or you can let it like that. It doesn't matter. Now we are going to select our cat, and then we are going to look for a modifier called hook. We're going to use the hook. Then the object, in the object, we are going to select the circle that we created. And then in vertex groups, we are going to select stretch. Now this is what's going to happen when I select the circle, our control. If I move it, our cat is going to move with it. So basically this is our control for the rig of the movement of the cat. Okay guys, now this basically is the technique that we're going to use for rig our cat, right? So now we are going to create the same process. We are going to do the same process for the ears. Okay, so we selected get the cat, and then we go to the vertex group, right here, and then we're going to pass to ear right. That will be this side, and left will be this side. So we're going to select left. So we are going to go to, again, wave painting. Now right here, I'm going to move right here. I select the gradient tool. Then I'm going from here, almost from here, I'm going down, 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 down. Something like that. It's okay. Now here, we go back to object mode, and we need to create one more control. And then in this case, we can rename this one. We can call it head control. And we are going to create two more. Okay, circle, then up, scale it, S. I'll move it here, right here. This side. Okay, then we're going to duplicate it, Shift D, X, then we move it here, right here, something like that. So this one, we are going to call it, it's a control as well. So this will be the left ear control and the right ear control. Okay, so ear control. Okay, now we have the names. Now right here we were in this part, the ear left, so that means this one. Now with the cat selected, we are going to take one more hook. Right here, hook. Where are you? Here, hook. Then we scroll down, and then we are going to select our control and then your left. Now we need to test it. So G, and it's working perfectly. Okay, we back. Now we can rotate it. Okay, good. And then we repeat the same process, but with the right ear. Okay, so we go here, go back. You can get to weight painting from here, or you can press Control Tab, and then it will show you this menu, and then you can go weight painting. So right now here, oh, this area is already selected, so we're gonna take it one more time, and then goes here, something like that. I think it's okay. Let me see, this one is right here. This one is okay. Now we go back, Control Tab, then we go to Object Mode. We go here and we select the cat and one more hook modifier. Oh, sorry, made a mistake. Hook. Okay, we go down. Now we are going to select this control, and then your right. Then we select this one and move it and see. It's more working. Now we can select the cat, and if you see something weird in the geometry, we can put more subdivisions, like 3 and 3 in the render. So it will be more soft, okay? Now the same process is going to happen with the hands, but also we are working with the mirror modifier in the hand. We are just going to work with one hand. We are going to delete the mirror modifier, so we're going to delete it. And then we are just going to work in this one, and then we are going to create a copy and paste it in the other side, okay? So now we're gonna repeat the same process. We go here, vertex group, hand. Okay, then we are going to create the control circle or rig. Shift A, we go into circle, we're up. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to make it smaller. Then we go to the top view with the number 7 in the numpad to see how it looks. Yeah, okay, from view. So we had this one, we can rename it with F2. We're gonna put it hand control. Okay, now we select our hand, and then we go to weight painting with Control Tab. We go here, weight painting. We select the same tool, the gradient tool, and then we are going to go from top, something like that. Little bit, not too much. Okay, we go back, Control Z. I'm going to try to give it more range, yeah, more space between colors. Something like that. We're gonna see how it looks. Okay, we go back to Object Mode and select our hand. We go to the modifiers tab and then look for hook. Then we are going to select our control rig, hand control rig, and then select hand, and we are going to test it. Okay, G. Yeah, as far it looks good. Okay, so if you feel that is no, I mean the movement of the hand is no right or something, you need to repeat the process going here and delete the selecting the hand, and then delete it, and then do it again, like select it one time and then hand, and then go back here and then also delete the hook control, and then go back to the weight painting and do the process again. You repeat the process again. I think something is not working well. Put it right here like that, okay? We go back to object mode, the same. Select the control and then select hand and test it again. Yes, something like that. Now we have the hand selected, and we need to select both the control and the hand. So both of them are selected, and then we are going to press Shift D X to move it on the X axis, and then we are going to put it right here. Okay, guys, so right now we have both hands. You can test it. It's okay, same. Now everything is working perfectly. What we're gonna do with the body and the controls is we are going to parent them. We are going to parent all the three controls. We are going to parent to the body of the cat. So we select the first one, then shift, hold down shift, and then select the body and Control P, and then object and keep transfer. Then the same is gonna happen with the ears control. Now we can move the cat and it will move with the controls. And about the hands is the same. You're gonna select the control hands and then parent to the hands. Now if we move the hands, now in this case we don't gonna attach the hands to the body of the cat. It doesn't matter because in the animation I told you we're just gonna see half of the cat, so it's going to be like that. Now we are going to work in the Toon Shader. Now we are going to open our light. It was right here in some place. Let me find it. Okay, light right here, the camera. Now we are going to divide the screen. I'm going to create other window. Right here you go this way and then just drop it to the side. Something like that. The camera is already on the viewport, so we are going to activate the camera. I'm going to see here. Okay, we have the lines. Now we have the camera selected, and then we are going to press, I'm going to find the view that I want. Something like that. And then I'm going to press Ctrl Alt 0, and then our camera is going to set up in that view automatically. Now we are going to open here the menu of this size, pressing N, and then in view we are going to click where it says camera to view. Now we hide it again, and now we can move our view using our camera. You can see we can zoom in and zoom out with control and dropping the mouse in and out. Yeah, sliding the mouse in and out. Okay, now basically this is what we're gonna get. And then for make it bigger the screen, we can press the home key, and then automatically it will fit the view of the camera on the window, right? So right now we have the sunlight, we have the line, sorry, and then we change it to the sunlight. We have when you select the light, you go here to the parameters to the light, and then it will show you point light, sunlight, spotlight, and area light. Right now we are going to use sunlight, and then for see the shading on the viewport, we can press Z, and then it will open this render. And then they have the different views. They have solid view, wireframe view, render view, and material view. We're going to use material view. Now in that way we can see the effect of the light on the mesh. Now we can go to the side view. You can select the light, you can move it, and you can rotate it with the sunlight. The effect of the light will change it when you rotate it. For example, I want something like that, right? Then in the render properties, we're going to change to if. If you have cycle, change to if, because this effect just work, toon shading just work in if. for work, making work in cycles is other process. But in this case, we are going to use the render engine if, then ambient occlusion on. And in the color management, you need to change the view transfer to standard, okay? No filmic, standard. Okay, guys. Now we are going to open a small window right here. So right click and then horizontal split. I'm gonna put it here, and then in this icon we are going to open it, and then shader editor. We select shader editor. Now we are going to select our cat. Then we are going to create a new material, and then right here we need to make some modifications. For example, I'm going to look for shader to RGB. We need a shader to RGB. We are going to connect it between these two nodes. So we drop it there, and then we are going to use a color ramp. And then the color ramp, we are going to put it between the shader to RGB to material output. And basically here in the color ramp, we are going to change this parameter, the linear, we are going to change it to constant. Now you can see the shadow, how it's defined. Now we can see clearly more the shadow. Because if you let it in easy or in other one, you can see that the shadows have like a transition, gradient transition, and we don't want that. Okay, now basically this is the setup, the shading setup for the Toon Shader. So right here you can change the colors, just here for example, and then we can go something like that, and then I can copy this code, Control C, and then I can go here and paste it, Control B, and then I'm just going to modify it a little bit, something like this. You can see. Now it depends how you move it. Now in this part, the shadows will be affected when you move the line. You see, the light is right here, the sun is right here. If I move it, it will move. See, something like that. Okay, so basically this is the theory, okay, and this is the technique that we're going to use. Changing a little bit, something right here. You can modify the colors in the way that you want. Also, you can add more colors if you want. It's very simple. Just go right here to the color ramp. In the color ramp, you this plus, and then you can add more colors. You can put the colors, all the colors that you want. You can make variation in the color, but in this case, we're just gonna work with these two colors. For me, it's okay, so I'm going to delete this one. Also, we are going to apply the mirror modifier. Remember that we are using some modifiers. So we need to apply the mirror modifier because later we are going to make the animation of the face using some image. And for that we need the full mesh, not the half mesh. So just apply it and that's all, okay? Now about the hands is the same process, so we can just create new one. And when you go here, right here, you can copy, like you put the material. This one like that, you see? And then you just duplicate it for make it different. You can put hand and one. But basically it's the same process. It's just the same. Then constant, and with the other hand also. New material, and then you just select it. You can select this one and then copy right here. So it can be hand 2. Now we had both hands, right? Now we are going to make the outline of the character. We can make the outline of the character very simple. We need to create one more material. We're going to create one more material. So we are going to click right here. New one. In this case, we don't gonna use the principal BSDF. We're going to delete the principal BADF. And then we are going to find an emission this one emission, this node, and then we connect it to the surface. And right here we're gonna change the color. So we're gonna use a black color, you know, not totally black, but something like that, right? Okay. And then we need to, in settings of the material, we need to activate backface clean. Just click it there. Now we are going to select our mesh, our cat, and then we are going to the modifiers tab. And right here we are going to look for a solidify modifier. Just click it. Go down here, and then right here in the normals, in the solidify, we are going to flick the normals. And then in materials, right now it's in 0 material offset, so we need to put it 1, and then automatically it will show us the outline. Wait, I'm going to deactivate this one, and then here in the solidify you can test it, you see. So you are going to find like a parameter that can help you see the line, the outline, something like that, you see. It's pretty simple, guys. So something like that. Then we select the cat again. Then we are going to the material, select this material right here. Then we are going to modify this right here. Okay. Then we can play with the sun to have a better look. Now, if you want to see the render, how it's looking the render, you can press C, and then with this menu appear, you go to the render. Basically, it's almost the same right now. It's almost the same, but we can modify everything right here. We can move the light, something like that. Now you can repeat the process with the hand, the two hands. So we can select one hand and then create other material, something like that. And then you can select it from here. I think it's this one. We can rename this outline. Now right here you select the hand, and then we go to the tab modifiers and look for solidify. So we're gonna normal, flip normals, and then material, put it in 1. Then you can play with the settings, or you can just basically go back to the to this material, the cat material right here, and copy the, we can copy the parameters. For example, it was this thickness, Control C, and we go here, and right here, Control B, and we let the parameters almost the same. So in that way you can do the same, repeat the step for this one. It's very simple, very straightforward. So one more here, one more material, and then we can just outline material. Then go here, modifier, solidify modifier, then normals, flip normals, materials, then 1, and then here just pay the same amount. And right now we have the outline. Now we're gonna create one more material for the ears of the cat. Very simple. From view, then we are going to go right here. We go to edit mode, and then we're going to select faces and hold down shift. Now if you can see it, you can activate on cage, or you can deactivate the modifier in the viewport. Okay, right here, hold on shift, and then we go to material, new material, and then you assign the material. You can see right here, and then you can just change the color a little bit, something like that. But in this case we cannot just change the color. We need to repeat the same process because it works the same. So look, I changed the color, but it looks white, still white. So we need to repeat the same process. Okay, so it will look like this. So we have that. Now we are going to create the face animation. So for that we need to apply select the cat and then apply not the mirror, the subdivision modifier. Okay, then we enter to edit mode. I'm going to hide the collection where we had the camera and the light. Okay, now we get a close look, and then I'm going to select the right here, the select circle. Then on face selection, I'm going to select some part right here. Now this is going to be our face. Now we need to copy it, Shift D, move it, mouse right click, and then we need to separate it, P, selection. Now it's a separated selection, separated mesh. You can see we have the cat and we have this one, it will be face. Now for this one we don't need a solidify modifier, so we just raise it, so like this is okay. And then in this part, this material, because this part belongs to the cat before, so it's still keeping the same material that the cat, we don't need it. We need to eliminate all these materials. Okay, now this part, the face, we need to create a new material. Okay, new material, we're gonna work with this material. So right now here we need to add the image that we are going to use. So we are going to look for Shift A, image texture. Now the image texture, we need to connect it to color, and then we need to open our image, right? So these are the images that we are going to use. I will put the link in the description of the video where you can download it for free. So I made it in Illustrator. You can make yours if you want. It's a PNG images. So we select all the 6 images and then open it. Okay, and then when you open right here, it will show you frame 6. Okay, now what we need to do for see the images, we need to connect the alpha to the principal BSDF. So you take this one alpha and then go to the alpha right here, and then in the properties of the material, down, you go down right here in the blend mode, you need to change it to alpha hashes. And then the shadow mode, you can change it to alpha click or alpha hashes. Okay, so right now it don't show the images because we don't have UVs. We need to create the UVs. So for that, it's pretty simple. You just enter to edit mode, select all the faces, and then you need to press U and then unwrap. Okay, so right now you can see we have some eyes or something showing on the camera, but we can fix it very simple. Right now I'm going to change right here. We open here this menu, and then we are going to the UV editor. So this is the UVs or our face, right? So we selected, we just click right here, and it is showing the picture that we put, but the UVs are in different directions, so we need to rotate it and put it in the right direction. So we press A to select everything, and then R to rotate, and then you just make the magic happen. You can press hold Control to make it more perfectly. Then with G you can move it, and then S for scale it like this. Okay, now we have a problem right here that the image that we download and we put in the image editor are repeating, so we don't need that. So now we're going to change again to the shader editor. We are going to select this one where the image texture, and then here in this part it said repeat. We don't need that, we need clip. So when you put clip, everything is working perfectly fine. So now we go back to the UV editor. Now you need to calculate how is the image working for you. If it is too big or too small, you can put it in the right place. For example, mine will be something like this. Let me see. Like that is okay for me. We can open the light for see. Doesn't matter if it's No big deal. Now we have some issues with the shader, but we can fix it very simple. Okay, now we go back here, and then, for example, one thing that we can do is take the light. You're going to select the light. We're going to edit mode, get out from edit mode, select the light one more time, and then here it has a strength 1000 is too much. Put 10, or we can put 5. You can see how much do you strain you want, like you can put 7. Okay, now we need to go back to the shader editor, select the face, and then right here the specular we need to put it down because we don't need a specular on the face. And also the roughness we can put it a little bit up. Now you can see the sun is going to this direction. You can adjust the sun. 3. Select the sun. You can move it. 7. Something like that. You can adjust the animation in the way that you want. You can put it 5 or put it 3. Something like that. Well, let's put 5. 6. Okay, and then just move it a little bit. 3. Something like this is okay for me. Now, as you see, guys, we have the faces on the cat. Now, for animate the faces is pretty simple. Right here, we need to put 1 in the frames. In the offset, we can manage the quantity of images that we put it here. Just move it on, like 2, 1. And then before we do that, we need to click auto refresh. And now you can see 0. At 0, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all. Okay, you can put any image that you want as long as PNG, and you put all the quantity that you want. Okay, in that case I put just 6. Now we continue. We're going to design the rest of the elements, like the table, the donut, and then the background, and that's all. It's going to be pretty simple, and then we are going to start to animate it. So I'm going to create the scenario, the table, the background, and everything. I'm going to do it fast. If you think it's too fast for you, you can slow down the video, okay? Okay, guys, so these are the elements I created. Basically, for the background, I create a plane and I put a color, normal color. Then I create a line, a point line with these parameters. Then the sun, I just rotate the sun a little bit more, and I change the strength to 5. For the table, I just create a cube and use the same technique for the shader, for the toon shader, as well as the donut and the plate and the cover of the donut, the same. And then basically that's everything. Now we are going to pass to animate everything, animate the cat, because basically the cat is going to be animated, and with the plate and the donut. And I'm just parent the donut and the cover to the plate. So if I move the plate, the donut will move. Okay, we are going to put it almost right here. And then we are going to start to animate. Basically, for animate, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I'm going to take this a little bit up. Wait. This one, I don't need it. I will close it. Okay. Now we're going to take this one up. And we are going to put the end of the animation at 100. Also in the render in your parameters, I activate the bloom. That is this effect, like the glowing of the line. You can change the intensity. It's depend on what you want. And what else? Here in the output properties, we're gonna put it to 24 frames per second. Now we are going to make a 100 frames animation. Now in the first frame, we are going to start with the cat. We're going to, suppose the cat is hiding, then he goes up and then see the donut, and then he look everywhere, and then he take the donut with his hand, and then he disappear. Basically it's that, and it's pretty simple to do it. It's just simple animation. You take the controls and move it, you see. You can make it like that, and then just animate it. In Blender, for animate, is basically, if you want to animate the movement, just go down, for example here, you see, then press I, and then you can animate the location, rotation. So we're gonna put location and rotation, and then you go to the frame number 20, for example, and then put it up like this, you see, and then I, location and rotation, and now look, it's going to animate like that. It's the same. You can use this, the move, this rotate, and the scale. You can use it for animated as well with the hand. You can do it with the hands or with the ears. So in this case, I'm going to do it also in a, I'm going to do it fast, and then you can slow down the video if you want. But it basically is that just move the controls and put keyframes, I, and then location and rotation, and that's all. Okay. And that's all for the cat animation. Now about the face, is the same process. It's a little bit different. We're going to change it. We're going to open again right here. Start split. Then we are going to go select the face. Now right here we're going to open the shader editor, and then we have here our image texture. Now remember guys, in the frames you need to put 1, and offset we're gonna change it. So the first one that is going to appear when the cat comes, like he comes, so from here to here will be the same, this one. So 1, right click, insert keyframe, then goes 30, so goes here, 13. We're going to change it here. This one, number 1. So it comes here. And then it goes down. Now here, you're going to look here and then here. So here, number 2, insert keyframe. Then number 3, insert keyframe. This one we can move it a little bit here on the 50. Then it comes here. We're gonna change it to this one. Insert keyframe. Then he's going to change here, right here. This one. Insert keyframe. Then all the way he goes like that, and then here, go back to this one, and then goes, right? But if you can see, when we played it, it will start to change us all. It will show us face by face. So we don't want that. For that, we can select all the keyframes and then press T. And then here in the interpolation, we're gonna change it to custom. Now he's going to respect the frames between one keyframe to other keyframe. So you can see. Now if you see it's too fast, you can change it a little bit. Like here. This one we can move it here. It's going up, and then you see the donut. Then right here. And goes. You see? So basically this is all, guys. Then you just render the animation right here, 24 frames. You can change the render viewport sampling. It's in 64. You can change it a little bit more, like 80 is okay. And then right here you select the folder when you want to put your animation, PNG, and then you can, after render all the image, you can compose all the images as a video. And basically that's all, guys. We can make a test, like a F12, to see how it looks. You see, it's pretty nice. It looks nice. So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you have learned a lot. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and please share this content for more people who want to learn 3D, for more people who want to learn Blender. Thank you so much.